the ultimate tour of Disney Springs at Disney World in Orlando, Florida. I'm Chris, this is Yellow Productions, and in this video, I'm gonna show you around the shopping mall here at Disney World. I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can see what I can see. And we're gonna start this walk by Cirque du Soleil and the Cirque du Soleil store at Disney Springs. Yes, that's right. If you're looking for the Las Vegas circus icon, they have a show here at Disney Springs. Now, as we walk this way, we're gonna walk through the whole shopping mall entertainment district, and we're gonna end up over by the Disney store, the World of Disney, the biggest Disney store in the world. And I'll take you through some of the stores as we walk through, but this video does have a part 2, which is a full walkthrough of that Disney store because it's so big it didn't fit in this video. All right, on the left, we see the House of Blues, which is a call it Southern cuisine restaurant, but really more of a concert venue. And they do sell tickets for the concert venue. Admission to Disney Springs itself is free, and parking here is free as well, which is nice. Where I'm starting this walk by Cirque du Soleil is, if you were following the signs to get here, the signs say surface parking will take you right there. That's also where the Uber pickup and drop off is, or rideshare pickup. There's 2 parking garages. We'll see those later. Parking in those is also free. There's a gigantic M&M store over here on the right, which is my color, yellow. You could take some selfies with the red and yellow M&Ms over there. Over here on the left is Jaleo and Pepe, which is kind of a pretty tasty Latin American tapas restaurant. Splitsville is the Disney Springs bowling alley and restaurant that has, you know, appetizers, pizza, and sushi. Kind of a collection of, call it standard American food. Chris, is sushi really American food? I think people love sushi so much here, it's pretty much become American food. Here's a little princess making some bubbles with her bubble sword. And there's a big AMC movie theater in here. You can get in it from 2 sides, one over here and the other side that has the more sit-down dining section. There's an Everglazed donut shop back here. That's more the bowling alley. There's the orange parking garage, one of 2 parking garages. I should also point out, if you're coming here, you need to go through a security check in order to get into Disney Springs. So, you know, they check for weapons and that sort of stuff. Some of the things that are banned in the parks, like selfie sticks, you can bring in here to Disney Springs because there's no ride, so they don't so much care about the selfie sticks. Salt and Straw, a really good ice cream place. And on the left, they're building a new restaurant, Summer House on the Lake. There are over 100 stores and restaurants in Disney Springs, and so there's really quite a lot of stuff here. On the right, sunglass icon, because it's sunny in Florida, and if you forgot your sunglasses, you might want to pick some up there. They've got this little shade structure on hot days so people can hang out in the shade. Some food trucks over here that are hanging out looking like they're ready to open a little bit later. If you like candy, or your kids like candy, who doesn't like candy, then they might want to check out the Candy Cauldron. This basically caramel apples and other Disney candy stuff. The Marvel superhero headquarters, you'll find Marvel toys and items at the big World of Disney store, but you'll find one store that has just that there. That guy's pretty cute. All right, very cool. And so there's him if you want to pick him up right there. Guardians of the Galaxy merch, and I even like the whole display back by the cashiers. One of the things I love about Disney World is I love the employees that are here, or they call them cast members. They're just so friendly and they love working here, both here at Disney World and at Disneyland in Anaheim. This Star Wars Galactic Outpost, they have 2 Star Wars stores in Disney Springs. They're both pretty small, and neither of them is as cool as the one that's at Downtown Disney in Anaheim. But if you don't make it into Hollywood Studios here, which is where Galaxy's Edge is, then you can get your Star Wars merch right there. Disney style, this is a little bit more of the upscale clothing store, you might say. Although I feel like at some point it all seems like the same clothing. But see, look, upscale, you know, you can get the jacket right here with the little things. How much is this one? $79.99 if you want to get that jacket. You can get your picture in a teacup, which is neat. If you're coming to Disney World and you're wondering how long should you spend at Disney Springs, at least a half day. There's that much stuff to do here, or a couple of evenings. There's a balloon here you can ride to get a bird's eye view of Disney Springs. It is $24.99 for adults to go up in that. That is not free. All right, so at this point, we can choose to go one of two ways. We can go right over here by the Coca-Cola store, or we can go left over here by Sunshine Churros. And we're gonna go left over this way, because I think this way is just more interesting. And this is the newer part of Disney Springs. If you've been here when they called this the downtown Disney part of Disney World, it's been expanded quite a bit. There's like all these bridges. They built out this whole extra section over the water, multi-tiered. It's neat to look out over the lake here at the other resorts in Disney World. And Disney World has a whole section of resorts that are like connected to Disney Springs by boat on that lake. So if you're staying at a few that are around here, then you don't have to drive or take a bus to Disney Springs. You can take a boat. This section is mostly restaurants. STK, really delicious steak restaurant. Mario and Enzo's Italian food on the left. This is a neat kind of power plant looking building that's called the Edison. Disney Springs is probably most popular in the evenings as people are coming for dinner. That's when you'll find the most people here, because dinner in the parks can be expensive, and you'll find less expensive food here that I think is tastier than what you will find in the theme parks. So definitely make it a habit on your Disney World trip to, like I say, either spend a full half day here, you can have your lunch and dinner, or you can spend a few different evenings. It's usually my style when I'm here is just come over here in the evenings to fill up my belly for dinner. One of my favorite places to eat is the Earl of Sandwich that we'll find up here in just a little bit. Savannah Bee Company, you can get your Georgia Honey Oakley store for more sunglasses. This place, Gideon's Bakehouse, is some like really popular cookie shop, and I'm gonna show you how popular this cookie shop is. In order to get in, you need to join their virtual queue, and then they'll text you when it's your turn to get back into the really, really, really long line. Do you see that line? That's a long line to get into a bakery. So needless to say, I'm not taking you in there as part of this tour. The hangar bar, neat old looking aircraft hangar. There's another bar out there on the lake called the Dockside Bar. But another thing that's really cool that you can do here in Disney Springs is you can ride an amphicar. What is an amphicar? An amphicar is an amphibious car. These are actually cars that have wheels that you can drive right into the water. And you can take a look at them right here. And here, I'm gonna zoom way in, and you can see there's one in the water. That's a car that is in the water. That's right, and you can rent them and take them around that lake. And I also like that, you know, where they rent them, they dress up like sailors, and the Disney cast members are just always very well themed, very well in character. You can get some Brazilian flip-flops over here at Havaianas. I know I got a lot of Brazilian fans. Shout out to you, Gilberto, if you're listening, the #1 t-shirt winner here on Yellow Productions from the live streams. Chapel hats. This is a cool hat store. If you like hats, and OC girl, my wife, she loves hats, so she loves this store. Probably bring back something every time we go to a Chapel hats, from regular hats to like fancy hats, just like that. All right, going back out onto the main walkway here. Now you're noticing, if you're just like looking at the attire, wondering what the weather's like, you know, Florida, Orlando can be pretty hot. My favorite times to come here really is this fall season. because it's not as oppressively hot as in the summer, and it's not as rainy either. That's one of the things that's really odd about the summertime weather here. It's hot, it's humid, and then a lot of thunderstorms come because of that heat and humidity. The Happy Hound gift shop, all for dogs. There's kind of this intermediate third walkway in the middle that we won't be walking down, but there's a fish and chip store in here. There's this thing that's a boat restaurant, like the whole restaurant looks like a floating boat. It's like 3 stories. I don't think you can take it to go anywhere, but it looks like an old school paddle boat. We'll see it more around the corner. This place, gourmet marshmallows. I don't know when marshmallows became gourmet, but I guess if you're in a really touristy place, then you can have gourmet marshmallows. In the middle of it all, there's like a little creek that they built in here. So not the lake water, but people toss their pennies and things like that in there. All right, right here is the T-Rex restaurant. What's this? It's basically, I think, a rainforest cafe with dinosaurs. And we're gonna get to the Rainforest Cafe in just a little bit. Oh, by the way, they let you know, please don't touch the dinosaur. He bites. Oh, and over there, the volcano at Rainforest Cafe was just erupting with some fire. Sorry if I gave you whiplash going over there. All right, I want to show you back the front of T-Rex restaurant. Look at that. It's got a gigantic T-Rex outside of it. And it looks like Jurassic Park, and that you've got the old beater paleo dig team car. And then let's go in here where we've got like, oh, that's like an octopus. And around the bar, there's a fish tank. And there's some dinosaurs in here. There's like a pterodactyl in the back. There's a woolly mammoth. I mean, this is one really neat restaurant. I can't vouch for how tasty the food is, but I can certainly tell you, if you're looking for what I think the most uniquely themed restaurant is at Disney World, you're not gonna find anything cooler than the T-Rex restaurant. This one looks like a whole ice chamber here where they've got the bones of the dinosaurs. We've got a small woolly mammoth right here. They've got waterfalls. And this T-Rex that's up here, he moves too. So that's really neat. The Spunky Princess, when she gets a little older, I think she'll definitely love this place. I say older because the dinosaurs here, they make roaring sound effects too. So you might want to make sure your little ones aren't afraid of dinosaur sounds. All right, going back out to the walkway. Over here is the Lego store, and we're gonna make another left over here because this is another choice about which way you want to go. And so we're gonna take the outer path, and then we're gonna circle back around to that inner path and ultimately get back to that Coca-Cola shop that I showed you earlier. Which, that Coca-Cola shop is really interesting. We're not gonna walk through it in this video, but the Coca-Cola store here is 3 stories. On the top of the Coca-Cola store is a tasting bar where they have Coca-Cola branded drinks from around the world. One of the most interesting things is you can get a 16 international Coca-Cola drink sampler, or you can get all 16 drinks in one, like a whole bunch of little drinks, or all in one. Over here is that it's the paddle boat again, paddle boat restaurant. I think it'd be neat if that actually went out and moved around the lake, but alas, that would probably be too difficult. This little bridge they built here is neat. This says it's the Village Causeway 1938. I'm not so sure about 1938, really. Because it wasn't here last time I came here, and I've been here more recently than 1938. Disney World wasn't even built till the 70s. All right, here's the Rainforest Cafe. They have a lava lounge that's down here on the bottom of the waterfall that has neat lake views, so that's more of their casual dining area that doesn't have the same rainforest theming as the cafe does. Over here on the right, we've got Swirls on the Water, and Swirls on the Water sells the famous Dole Whip. That's right, which the Dole Whip is basically pineapple, Dole, call it gelato, but it's not really gelato. It's like a sorbet. It's like a frozen yogurt. It's like all those things at once. Anyway, it's really good. It has no milk in it, so that's why I say it's more the sorbet. This is a cool picture spot. See the show of the alligator or the crocodile. That's right here. And then inside the Rainforest Cafe, it's really similar to that T-Rex store, except the Rainforest Cafe is themed like a rainforest. In here, they've got snakes that are hanging from the ceiling. They've got butterflies. They've got aquariums. They've got a store, and they've got a restaurant too. This one, just so this video isn't produced by the Department of Redundancy Department, I'm not gonna walk you through this whole one, but at the bar over here is kind of cool. Their stools actually look like animals, like you can sit on an ostrich or you can sit on a tiger. That is neat. Oh, this is cool. It's a huggable stuffed animal that you can warm up in a microwave, so it makes it warm for you to cuddle. Goofy's Candy Company. If you want more candy, you didn't get your candy fix earlier, Goofy Candy. This is the Disney Christmas shop. It can be Christmas all year round at Disneyland, Disney World. It can be Christmas all year round at both, because Christmas ornaments are very popular. If I slip into saying Disneyland every once in a while, if you're new here to Yellow Productions, I live in Southern California. We've been annual pass holders to Disneyland for a long time, so when I talk about Disney, I just have a habit of saying Disneyland. Carousel right here, $3 to ride the carousel. This is the second Star Wars store in Disney Springs. This is a pin trading store. Super popular pastime is to collect Disney pins, and you can get a ton of them right here. Okay, I said my favorite place to eat, Earl of Sandwich, right here. They have the best hot sandwiches in the world, according to them. That is their motto, but I will say their sandwiches are pretty tasty. First time I was at Disney World, I discovered this place. I think in a week I ate there like 3 times. Once Upon a Toy, we've got Play-Doh, we've got Tinker Toys, nicely themed, and then over here we've got another entrance to Disney Springs, and then over this way is one of the other parking garages. The other ride at Disney Springs, there's a little train ride right here. This one costs a few bucks to ride the little tiny train. This one's popular for kids. No driver. Actually, there's drivers. They're the little girls driving the train. Do you think that's safe? That's $3 to ride that train. The Disney Trend store right here has a lot of unique items that are Disney branded with more independent or smaller artists that created these things. If you want to join the Disney Vacation Club, which is basically Disney's timeshare program, you can do that here. I'm usually pretty down on timeshares, but I know a lot of people that really enjoy the Disney Vacation Club, so you're gonna hear no slanderous comments about the Disney timeshare during this video. Ghirardelli soda fountain. This is from San Francisco, the Ghirardelli chocolate shop. They have really good chocolate sundaes. They're not cheap. Like an ice cream there, it's just gonna start about $8, and if you want the sundaes with hot fudge and things like that, it's about 15. But if you're a chocoholic, it is well worth it. This is the big Disney store. This is the biggest Disney store in the world. Again, you can find a full walkthrough to that, link in the description or at the end of this video. On the right is the waterside stage, a big performance stage that has the lake behind it. It's pretty cool. When I was here last night at 10 p.m., there was performance there. Actually, it says tonight the performances start at 7 and go to 10:15. So if you're looking for live entertainment, evenings is when you're gonna find that live entertainment. You can see the balloon we walked by earlier. There's a Wetzel's Pretzels if you just want something quick. Joffrey's for coffee, or if you want the more standby familiar coffee with the longer line is the Starbucks right over here. This one doesn't have an inside. This one's just a walk up and order at the window. The Lego store is super popular. There's been long lines every time I pass this Lego store to go in. So be prepared for a little wait to go in there. All right, now as we go, so we've walked by what I'd call the district focused heavily on restaurants and entertainment. And now we're going into the home stretch, which is really the district that's focused on shopping. Although there's a few restaurants sprinkled here in the middle, but this is where you'll find the heart of the shops at Disney Springs. This place, Amorette's Patisserie, another pastry place, chocolates, sweet things. This two-story building is Uniqlo, basically the Japanese version of the Gap. If you've never been to a Uniqlo, check it out. They got a lot of unique merch. Levi's, Volcom, not all these things are Disney themed, a lot of classic American brands. And so, you know, maybe if you're coming to Disney World, save some room in your luggage for the clothes that you're gonna buy here. Save some room in your days. You know, maybe you don't need some clothes for your last 2 days because you're gonna pick up some cool Disney or Marvel shirts. The Polite Pig Modern Barbecue and Taps smells really good. I know there's no good smell-o-vision, but I can smell that barbecue as we're walking by. Balloons for sale. Okay, here's the entrance to the Lime parking garage. We saw the orange parking garage earlier, and boy, you can just see like how busy it is with all the people going up and down and into that parking garage. This is about a little after 5 p.m. So as people leave the parks, their belly is hungry, they're gonna walk around for 30, 45 minutes, and then they're probably gonna get something to eat around 6 o'clock. Yes, for my European viewers, Americans are known for often having quite an early dinner, and yours truly, we are definitely in the 6 o'clock dinner eating club. When I'm someplace like Italy, yeah, I'm not American that's waiting for the restaurants to open because they don't usually open till 7 o'clock there. Disney Springs dresses themselves up for the different seasons. Right now, it's the fall into magic decorations. This section, and this is why I left this section for last, it is the least themed section. As you can tell, the other places we walked through had more water and more bridges, and this section as well, just more shopping. So there's less people kind of lingering around here, and I find this section just has a lot more people that like walk through. If you're taking a bus from the various hotels, this is the bus pickup and drop off in the middle. This is kind of cool. This is like a corkscrew that you can turn to bring water up from this level up to the higher level. There's another big two-story Zara right here. Another two-story Zara. Another two-story clothing store. This one is Zara. And right in the middle is a welcome center, guest relations. If you need to buy like Disney park tickets or inquire about like going to the Disney parks, you need information or stuff like that, that's where you're gonna find it, right in the center. Now, of the store section, I think this is the coolest section because they've made this look like a old school market. It actually says up on top, Market Building 1913. I'm sure this one was built in 1913 as well. I really wish it was less of just a bunch of stores in the middle of it, and I really wish it was an actual food hall because I think that would be cool. But there are a lot of food halls, like particularly in Boston or the older parts of the US that have buildings like this that either sold vegetables back in the day or have a bunch of food stalls in it as the modern thing today. On the right, we've got Fit to Run. If you need a stroller and you didn't bring one with you, you can pick up a stroller in a pinch here. Running shoes, running attire. A unique part about Disney Springs as a shopping mall is that it has bars spread out through it. So you can see right here, Dockside Margaritas has a location where you can get yourself some margaritas, some other cocktails from the little stall right in the middle. Because you know what? I think for a lot of people, shopping goes a little bit better if you have a drink in your hand. For others, you know, might not be a cocktail, might be a coffee. For me, it might be a boba tea. That's one of the things that I think Disney Springs is missing, no boba tea shop. But they do have a chicken sandwich, like a hot chicken sandwich place. All right, that guy was pretty excited. Over here, Wolfgang Puck Bar and Grill with a gelato window out here on the front. We've got Planet Hollywood that last night at, oh boy, when was I here? 10 p.m. last night? There was like still a line of people waiting to eat at Planet Hollywood at 10 o'clock last night. Just a popular classic American chain. Again, I don't know how great the food is, but it is a bit of classic Americana right there. And this is that 3-story Coca-Cola store that we turned off earlier at that point, bringing us back to this fountain and the conclusion of this walking tour. So if you want to check out more, you want to see inside the biggest Disney store in the world, you'll find a link right here or in the description to my entire Disney World Orlando playlist for even more videos and hotel reviews. Well, fellow explorers, I won't say goodbye because I'm going to see you over there.